Lovely.
Um, thank you.
Yeah. What up, everybody?
Dropping stuff.
Let me say greetings to the audience that's gonna pop in. Hi, everybody. Thank you for shopping, for coming in to the TOMEICKO show. Today, our special guest is a lovely young lady who I've been acquainted with for, shoot, how long has it been? I'm thinking 98, but no, right?
Wow, a lot of years.
I remember
What?
you.
No, because I was in high school.
Okay, so it was the early 2000s. I was with
It's
Osaze.
04.
Maybe
Yeah.
before, maybe '02,
What?
before I had children, I think. I don't know.
Because I was graduating.
I want to also,
Right around there.
I got to do this real quick. All rights reserved. I got to put yeah, freedom of,
Hold on just a second.
all rights reserved, all rights reserved. Let me do this real quick. Anyways, so what's up to the audience? 1976. Okay, so what I'm doing, Gia, just so you know, is letting all who need to know, all rights reserved. All right. Copyright, no infringement intended. Let me make this big. And I'd like to present forth information that is for entertainment and educational purposes. So I want it to be clear to the powers that be or whoever that needs to know that that is the purpose of playing any music or videos that we do. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and all that good stuff. I'm trying to make it bigger, but y'all get the point. Boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam. Copyright Act of 1976. I am implementing that rule/law for all the poems, songs, and videos we see from all entities in the known universe. That goes for YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Did I miss one? Instagram. All right. On that note, let's get into
It's
it.
tangled.
Oh, are you
All
still
right.
okay? Well, what's up? Who's out there? Shout out. Come on. Say something to us. Say what's up. This is an interactive live in which you have the ability to type in the
Uh-oh.
live chat. What's wrong?
It says that it's having trouble connecting me.
I see a picture of you and your dad in the background, but I mean, it's
I'm
like
gonna
you're
see if
not
I
at
can
the,
leave and
well, as tradition, I always have some problem at the beginning of my show. It's like a tradition at this point. I hope she comes back. If not, I do have other things to talk about, but I hope she does come back. It'd be a lot of fun. Oh my God, I am officially Chubbs. Do you see this? I am Chubbs, but it is what it is. Okay, let's click her back in.
I don't know what that was about. It said it had trouble keeping me connected and then it just cut out. So I'm going to try it without the headphones, see if that
Oh,
helps.
it's perfect. You sound
Okay.
great. You sound great. What you been up to? How you been?
Man, I've been good. I'm so happy that this dang pandemic is kind of hopefully coming to a close. Um, that isolation was really something else, you know what I mean? But yeah, everything's been good.
Do
Um,
you live by yourself
I
at that time?
Yeah, no, I was with my grandmother, and I'm her caregiver. She's 100 years old now, so
What? What?
yeah, she's 100 years young. So I actually did a dedication video for her. It's on my YouTube channel. If anyone wants to check it out, but
Well, what's the name of your YouTube so I can type it in? YouTube channel. Where is it?
It's just it's like the one of the most recent videos that I've uploaded, but it's
Mm.
like it's dedicated to Elvira Sykes,
Oh,
her
cool.
100th birthday. That's basically the title.
They just type in Gil Scott-Heron. I was asking if you had like a name for your channel.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's my government name, honey. Nothing fancy, nothing,
That
nothing.
is amazing. Okay, so also I wanted to mention that this episode is the very first episode that we're doing to kick off Black History Month. I
Mm,
had to say it like that. I had to say it like that. For me, Black History Month starts like Martin Luther King's birthday and then on.
there you go.
That's how I
That's
do
a
it.
good rule. I'm gonna adopt that. That works for me.
I don't
Um,
wait till the first.
right. No, why do it? I mean, who cares, you know?
I'm
I
very
say
thankful.
every day should be Black History Month or
It
a
is in the
day for
world.
Black history, you know? So every
Yeah,
month is Black History Month. So
exactly. And I also want to
mhm.
tell you thank you for coming on here tonight. I really appreciate you coming on here. Uh-oh, it froze again. It froze again. Gia. Well, anyways, if you just look at that lovely
Probably.
face.
And
Okay. Okay.
okay, we're good. I'm back.
Oh my God, I'm officially
Are
Chubbs. I,
you Chubb? Where?
Chubbs. Look at this. Look at this. That is just okay. Back to you. I'm sorry. Oh, I see myself on camera. I'm tripping. Okay, we are. Somebody is. Let's block that user. Have a good time. Find your love. Get on with it. Anyways,
I done
congratulations.
already found it.
That is awesome. I've seen pictures of you and your friend, your love. Have your new poems
Yes,
been
on
out
my
yet?
Insta.
Are your
Oh
poems?
yeah, he's inspired. We inspire each other. So it's a
Are we
beautiful
gonna see him
thing. But
tonight?
yeah, like
I'm sorry. Is he gonna pop in?
you might be watching
Well, shout out boyfriend, fiance, husband.
his name.
Name-
Well, come in, baby, if you want. We're
Oh,
inviting you up. He's gonna watch, so
okay. I can
he's
put the link.
probably in the audience.
I can put the link in the chat if you change your mind. Well, let's tap into you first. Okay, so the reason that I mentioned that when I met you was because I met you at the Pan African Film Fest poetry part. They had like a poetry thing, and that's where I first met you. And you used to wear a little ponytail,
That was definitely for 2005 then,
and
because
you,
I remember being at that festival.
yeah, and that's when I first met you. And I think you were about 22 or 23, maybe. I don't know, but I think so.
No, in 04, 05, I would have been 24 or 25
Okay.
because I
Okay.
was born in 80. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm dating myself. Math. But yeah, that's how I know like I couldn't have met you before that because before that I was in school.
okay. Okay. I'll receive that. I'll receive that. I don't want to, the point is I've met you at this poetry thing, and I was just like, well, look at this. Because I had always intended on meeting your father, but I just never went to see him perform, even though he performed very locally. And I just I'll go next weekend. Tripping.
Right, right. Hey, it happens. We put it off. We put things off all the time, you know? It's just life is, a series of choices, you know? So,
Facts.
but
Yeah.
it's because I remember one time he performed at the El Rey in 2009, and I had a whole bunch of my friends come because he reserved a whole table for me right by the stage, and it was so dope, and it was crazy because he had reserved a spot for my mom as well, but my mom, because he did have a history of starting his shows late them being late or canceled. That was the old him. But like towards the end of his life, he really did reform and he really did do better. And so he started on time and he actually made a joke. He's like, if anyone, made a bet that I wouldn't be here, that I'd cancel the show, you
Oh,
lost. And then
oh,
everyone was like, woohoo. So my mom came right as the show was ending because she was thinking my dad would be so late, it wouldn't matter, just like whatever.
yeah.
So they went to dinner. They took their sweet time. They got there at the end. My dad was already wrapping up the show right when they came. And I remember seeing my dad see my mom.
Yeah.
And I was just about to introduce him to all my friends, right? And
Yeah.
literally, I could see tunnel vision. Like all he saw after that was my mom. As soon as my mom came into the room, that's all my dad saw. He didn't hear me. He didn't see me anymore. I no longer existed, let alone my friends, my little friends waiting to shake hands. And he made a beeline for my mother. You hear me? He
He's
grabbed her by the hand, led right into the bathroom in the green room backstage. So it's like a closet-sized bathroom. My mom said as soon as they got in there, they were almost nose to nose because there was like no room in that bathroom. And
wow.
that was all of him. And I said, damn, I hope they come out. And one of my friends was like, well, I got to go home. I got to go back to the kids. And yeah, I have, there's going to be a lot of traffic. I'm going to have to go too. And I was like, no, you guys, wait. I'm sure he'll be out in a minute. They can't
Well,
be
how
in
long,
there forever. And
hey, how
then
long was he there?
yeah, that
Like 30
they
minutes?
never had an opportunity. Huh? Oh, they were in there for a while. Like it was crazy. Like my dad, he never got over my mom, even after they divorced. It was just like, you know,
That's
that
a
was
fact.
the love of his life.
He had
He
passion.
never recovered on her. He just, so
Out
what
Hillary,
can you
Hillary,
do?
right? There's people shouting out. Can you see it on your end?
Hey guys. So
Wow.
yeah.
Would you mind if I show like there's a small, very mini documentary on your mother that I found. I wanted to show the audience as a part of Black History Month as
Okay.
well. Aside from it being your mom and dad, you have like the perfect, amazing DNA thing popping. I wanted to show the audience who your parents are. You know what I mean?
Sure.
All
I'm
right. So
down with that.
bust that a little bit. I found some stuff for you that you performed. I found all three of you guys actually. So let me start with
Wow.
super foxy Brenda Sykes. Let's do that first. Brenda
Okay.
Sykes, y'all, is I think every man, young man in the 1970s, 80s, 90s dream woman. So this guy, he made this video.
I'm gonna do a weird thing now on the.
Are you aware of this video?
I don't know if I am.
You're in
I
this
get
video.
things sometimes in my inbox on Facebook and stuff.
Well, let me play this for us. Let's do it.
Okay, sure, why not?
1970s actress Brenda Sykes. Brenda Sykes was one of the most beautiful Black women of the 70s. She appeared in dozens of television shows and movies throughout the 70s. But she was born in Louisiana on June 25th, 1949. And she went to high school during the 60s and graduated from high school in 1967. She appeared on a dating game show in 1969. And this is where she was discovered. Her first starring role in the movie was in 1971 when she stars in Hunky. This is a movie about an interracial couple who falls in love with each other. It was very controversial at the time because before 1971, there had never been an interracial love story between a Black woman and a white man. So this got a lot of attention for that reason. It was looked at as a very controversial movie.
One look at her convinced him that black is beautiful. two turned-on today kids in love and in trouble. Brenda Sykes, John Nielsen. Her friends called him Honky.
Don't wait too long, Honky. She's used to fast service.
Between Sheila and her father, the generation gap was wide, as it was between Wayne and his father.
Everybody wants a free ride. Nobody wants to earn his way. Soft, I tell you. It's like those marching coons.
Don't use that word.
Tequila. We're in a hurry.
You got $225.
Shit, we'll do better outside.
Live hot nuts. You a hell of a devil. You know that?
I wondered where in the hell you were.
Honey, if he's bugging you, just give me the word.
No, he happens to be my old man.
The snow. The real reason I had to leave town was because I didn't want my parents to find out.
That your girl was a nigger.
After the success of Honky, in 1972, she starred in Black Gun with Jim Brown. Now, Jim Brown is known as the greatest football player of all time. Well, after he retired from football, he started writing and producing his own movies. And one of his most successful movies was Black Gun. And he specifically chose Brenda Sykes because he was attracted to her in real life. He chose her because he wanted her to be his love interest in the movie. From 1973 to 1974, she starred in Ozzy's Girls. This is a movie about a black and white girl who are in college and they're rooming together. And then in 1975, she plays in Mandingo, where she plays the slave master's mistress. And this is a hard movie to watch. This is one of the most gruesome slave movies I ever seen before. But overall, this is a good movie. In her last major acting role was playing JJ's girlfriend.
Hold up. I need to hear the name of that movie again.
Which one?
The slave one.
Skin Game?
Well, after he retired from football, Black Gun life. He chose her because she starred in Ozzy's Girls. This is a movie about a black and white girl who are in college and they're rooming together. And then in 1975, she plays in Mandingo, where she plays the slave master's mistress. And this is a hard movie to watch. This is one of the most gruesome slave movies I ever seen before. But overall, this is a good movie. In her last major acting role was playing JJ's girlfriend on Good Times. She played on the last 3 seasons of Good Times. In 1978, she married the legendary singer Gil Scott-Heron. And they were married from 1978 to 1988, and they had 1 child together, a daughter. Today, Brenda Sykes is 71 years old. She hasn't acted in over 30 years. She likes to keep a low profile, and she stays out of the spotlight. This is the most recent picture I was able to find of her. And this picture was taken 10 years ago because Gil Scott died in 2011. So this photo has to have been taken around 2009 or 2010. I couldn't find any recent pictures of her. If any person has any recent pictures of her, send them to me on Twitter or send them to me on Facebook. A lot of people have different opinions about this topic. Leave a comment, rate, and subscribe.
I mean, what a fox. No wonder your daddy was smitten.
Smitten, right? No, he truly was. Yeah.
Well, let's tap into that, man. Papa. Now, your dad, I don't know who knows that your dad was not just a poet, he was a singer. I was like, I had a club called the Black Hand Side in the early 2000s, and I had 4 DJs, and one of the DJs always used to play just the most amazing in the cut songs. So he used to make these mix CDs, and your dad's had a few songs on there that I liked a lot. And this is one of them. This is one of them. Let's see. All rights reserved. All rights reserved. Gil Scott-Heron only in the house. Here we go. I'll be right.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. You see that black boy over there running scared. His old man in a bottle. He done quit his 9 to 5. He drink full time. Now he's living in a bottle. See that black boy over there running scared. His old man got a problem, and it's a bad one. He ain't done pawned off damn near everything. His old woman away to drink for a bottle. And don't you think it's a crime when time after time after time people in a bottle? There's people living in the bottle. Listen to me. See that sister, she was fine. She's about to drink wine in the bottle. She told me, oh man, committed a crime. He's doing time. Now she's hanging in the bottle. I seen her out there on the avenue all by herself. She sure need help from the bottle. I seen her, the man tried to help her. Now she cussed him out and hit him in the bottle. They turned to me, they asked me, Gil, don't you think it's a crime? No way. And time after time after time, people in the bottle. There's people showing up in the bottle. Give another good example. You see that jet in a Rico suit, that damn near blown his to the bottle. He was a doctor helping young girls along. If they wasn't too far gone to have problems. But the vendors of the Dollar Eagle said, what you doing, man, illegal. Now he's in the bottle. And now we watch him every day. He's trying to take the pensions away from the bottle. He turned to me, he said, "Get my hand out. Don't you think it's a crime? The way time after time, friends of mine in the bottle. There's people showing up in the bottle. Come on, hit the lick one time, stick. If you ever come looking for me, you know where I'm bound to be in the bottle. Turn around, look around on any corner. If you see some brother looking like a goner, it's gonna be me. Sing the song. Na 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 get a bottle of wine, $1.09, get a bottle of wine, $1.09, get a bottle of wine, bottle. Yeah, all that I'm concerned about is a bottle. It can take me inside out of a bottle. All I want is all I want is all I want is all I want since I'm living on the bottle.
You know what's deep and amazing? At any time, the name of that song, Killery, is called The Bottle. B-O-T-T-L-E. The Bottle. $1.09, get your bottle of wine. Hey. Hey, you know it's a trip, man. I was just thinking about earlier I was watching, what was I watching? it was a report about, oh, it was Dr. Umar. He was saying that this is the most homelessness that Black people have seen since the 1960s right now. And I thought that was interesting, that I would play that song with all that footage and, the inspiration I'm sure the elder felt, writing that song, The Bottle, you know what I mean? Because they really pushed a lot of dope on us at that time. They closed all the factories, right? Where everybody was working, right? And then the brothers was just displaced, and the military was grabbing up young men.
Mm. They were putting liquor stores on every corner.
They was putting it. Yeah, and it's always some other group that does that. Like I have this song called Watts 1965, and it just, there's this one line, I know it's probably considered controversial, but it just talks about basically how, the Jews was in our neighborhood, then the Arabs was in our neighborhood, and the Koreans was in our neighborhood selling that poison, you know what I mean? And all of their religions, all of their belief systems are strongly against those type of behaviors. So to me, even when I was practicing Islam with Tariq, shout out, in Louisiana, I remember seeing Arab brothers selling alcohol, and I'd be like, isn't this haram? Isn't this not good? You're not supposed to do that, right? So why would you exploit the people like that when you know better? Same with the Jewish folk, same with the Koreans. They are noble people. Like the Koreans, have a lot of honor and respect. As all people do, you know what I mean? So how dare you come into another country where you should know a little bit about the history? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying it's a tenet in a lot of religions to, not exploit, those around you, and to not, a lot of, money is a powerful drug, so sometimes you overlook things, or you pray extra, you pay extra tithes, and you say, you convince yourself that that's enough.
Interesting you say that like that, because one time there was this big debate argument after the 92 riots when I was on campus at Long Beach State, and this Korean dude was like, you Black people, you have opportunities here. You don't go to school, you this, you that, you that. And I was like, some of the stuff you're saying is kind of true, but then you think about this. What if we move, like if I moved to Korea, if me and my family moved to Korea, and then other Black families moved to Korea, we all kind of know each other, we're gonna probably live near each other. And then if their system gives you money to open stores in their neighborhood, you do that. But then, they might be telling you to put them certain things there. Just like a lot of Black Americans are moving to Ghana, right? What if we just all of a sudden started selling stuff that we know culturally is not good for them? We'd be guilty of the same thing. Okay, sorry to get so heavy. But I also have a clip of you I want to play too, please. Thanks. Let me do it. All right. So this is my girl doing her thizzle. Oh, by the way, we have seen each other since then. I was just speaking on the first time that we met. I just want to know that. I want people to know we've seen.
Right.
It's funny. Okay, this is how I know when this was. Okay, a couple of times I met you or saw you, not met you. In 2009, I had my son Ismael in May. So I was on lockdown from like 2008 to 2009. Tarek wasn't going to have me going to hang out with you, which is lame because I would have loved to have hung out with you and your family. But anyway, and then I know it wasn't. Oh, wait.
A repeat of that.
How?
What happened?
No, I'm saying how.
Remember when we got together and we ended up at the house and we were still talking, and he ended up going into the room to start engineering?
Oh my God! I forgot about that. Like I
He
forgot
was
about.
so upset that,
Mhm.
like, from on, that's why. That's why he kept us from one another. But yeah, and that I appreciate you because I feel like all girls should do that. There shouldn't be like, oh, I'm in competition with you or some crazy stupid shit. You should be allied with them. Then you can swap stories, you can check timelines, you can like verify stuff that
Understand the character of the person, and you know what? I sh- I'm thankful
real
for my
tea.
children. I give thanks for my children, but I shouldn't have got with him. I should have kept my crib in Inglewood. But anyway, so as it is,
Like,
Hillary, this is what we're talking about. She was with the guy I ended up with and had 2 children and reared 6 children with, but she was the girlfriend before me, like right before me. I didn't know
right,
that. I didn't know that. I hadn't seen her in years. She just popped up at the door one day with a gift for one of the cheering because she was a sweetheart. And I
right,
was like, "What you doing here?" And then we sat down because he didn't know we already knew each other, generally. So,
right.
anyways,
Just
it's
like
back.
you and I separate each other, separate and outside of him, you know?
Yeah, and I already respected and thought you were a cool chick. So he
Same.
he has cool taste. How about that?
Right, that's true. Has a type, and it's the best.
Hey there. So and then this part, Hillary. Now I'm being messy a little bit, but I don't care because I'm not with him anyway. Um,
Right,
so then I had always felt like, and it became revealed that uh it's not alleged because I lived it. It's my truth. That, I feel like he was sabotaging my music or blocking me from doing music, kind of in a very passive aggressive way.
right,
And I'm that so everybody will have a cautionary tale of not allowing their mate to potentially sabotage them. And you know what? I think I tend to have attracted that. I've attracted that because it wasn't just him. I've had that with other situations.
right. It
And
pulls orbit somehow.
yeah, I think it's a thing like, and you guys tell me if this is true. Oh, wait, let's get into it. Gia, I like your vibe. I can tell you are good people, genuine, kind, humbling, sweet. Yeah, she is.
I give thanks. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And I receive that. I appreciate it. And I try to be good people. I try to be, especially when I'm around good people, I try to be a reflection of those around me. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like, I've always had respect for you. And I'm glad to be doing this with you. I'm glad to be able to connect with you, even if it's virtual, digital.
Well,
But yeah, I appreciate your audience saying that. I give thanks.
well,
Appreciate
that's your vibe, honey. That's your energy. But I mentioned that story, audience, because years later, after I'd already figured out I wasn't going to be with the brother, I did a poetry show, and sister came and she showed support, and that
it.
was so cool. That was so. I hadn't done a show in years because I was in Louisiana, and I had just come back to LA to do a show.
Show. You came with the man and you just boom and you left it all on that stage. Like you performed the hell out of your pieces. It was so dope. And it was so funny because like you would preface some of them like, I'm sorry, y'all, I ain't done this in a while. And then you would like kill it. And then we'd all be like, wait, where? What do you mean? Like it's
You
there
know,
forever. Like it was so funny how you were like, "Oh, sorry," I don't. And then you'd be like, "Boom!" Da, 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 and the revolution and da 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 da. We were just like this sister right here. It felt like you had been conserving it, like bottling it all up, and then you were just like blah, and like just giving it all, like and left it
it's
all.
true.
And we were just all like stunned, just like, yes.
Thank
After we
you.
picked our paws up off the floor, we were like, yes.
Thank you for that. Because I never read feedback from the audience. I just be in my zone.
Yeah, you just do you, and then boom, exit. I do that a lot too. But yeah, sometimes people stop me and be like, hey, you know, individually. But yeah, no, I was in the audience, so I felt the collective energy in the spot. You know what I mean? So I was in it. So I already, everyone was just like we were blown back, and then we like collectively picked up our jaws, and then when we were done doing that, we were like, yes.
You know what? Thank you. A sister taped it for me.
65, yes, queen, yes.
Thank you. I'm noticing I have to mute, so because I guess it's the mute mic or whatever. It'll cut you in or out or cut me in and out. So that's what's happening here. Oh, thank you, Killary. Killary, thank you. You good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for participating. You know what, Killary? There is a moment, not yet, but there is a time. If you do poetry? If so, we'll have an open mic at the end. But yeah, I want to show you what you do as well. Let's do this.
Okay, here we go.
Incredible to be doing this. This is Gil Scott-Heron's daughter. I'm giving her a hug. Unbelievable. So she's going to share an original piece of hers with us in the spirit of peace going with Brother Gil. So please give it up again for Miss Gil Scott-Heron.
I just want to thank each and every one of all of you for being out here tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world that you wanted to be, but you decided to be here. And so I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I know Daddy's thankful too.
Okay, I had to pause that. That was damn touching right there for a moment. That's just like freaking touching. And Gia, if you're gonna be shy, you know you can put your screen on like this, right? If you're gonna be shy and stuff. All right, let me press play.
Here, and so I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I know Daddy's thankful too. So we thank you for being here. So this piece is called Hot, H-O-T, and it's about to get a little hot in here, so be ready.
All rights reserved.
My pops, Gil Scott, is hotter than a heister trying to sell you a laptop with the serial number scratched off. He's hot like touching a stovetop with no mitten. Hot like you too young to cook, but you still in the kitchen trying to see what grandmama and them fixing. So hot you can't resist, and he's like 100 degrees in a black SUV with the windows rolled up and stuck and no working AC. Forget the jacuzzi, he's hot like pure steam. And me, I'm so hot even my lyrics sweat. I'm so hot I got thoughts burning on the back burner that I ain't even thought of yet. Like Nikki Giovanni, I'm so hot even my errors are correct. I'm so hot I don't even need spell check. I'm hotter than a grenade that's missing its clip. Hotter than a bomb that ticks. Hotter than buttermilk biscuits. I'm hotter than the teenagers' armpits when they're getting their first kiss. I'm hotter than HGTV. I'm hotter than right now in July. I'm hotter than your thighs after your mama done hit you with the switch like 55 times. And my daddy and me, we be hotter than Death Valley in the middle of the summer with a wool sweater on. No hat, no sunblock, no water, and no visor. I keep the mercury rising. And it's not surprising to find that scientists ran a few more tests and found out that I may actually be the cause of global warming. Sorry, y'all. Little old me. So I recycle, but I ain't cutting back on my lyrical emissions because to unify, educate, and mobilize is my mission. I'm hot because my footprints aren't made out of carbon. They're made to solve problems. I'm hot because I spit on the auto industry when they try to tell we that, well, we don't have the technology to wean ourselves off our global dependency on oil. But they're just weak and lack ingenuity because I got friends right now running their whips on nothing but old used kitchen grease. Not only that, but if you do your math and save your money, you can install a water pump system that will allow your car to run on hydrogen and use less gasoline. I'm hot because instead of saving up for bullshit rims that spin, one of these days I'm going to tell Exxon, BP, and the government to kiss my zero emissions, okay? But my heat don't mean nothing if it don't affect you. So I accept this challenge to educate, elevate, and uplift you. I'm hot because I'll work hard to spit like the bluest of flame. My father won't be the only reason you remember my name.
I'm hot because I make the devil quake and shiver in his boots. I'm hot because as a poetess, it's my duty and my privilege to speak the truth. Prove it if you think you can get me to stop, but don't do it if you think it might be a lost cause, because I might burn right through you like a laser through tissue, and you won't even be able to sue because I already told you that I'm hot. So take this advice. Sip with caution and handle with care. The disclaimer's been made. This artist right here has been known to be hot. Thank you.
Miss Gil Scott-Heron.
Okay, now that was all kinds of freaking buttery. That was super dope. People are giving you props. It's hot in here, Gia. Go ahead. Flaming mics and things. I'm telling people to come watch us. Shoot, I'm doing that. I'm telling them, let's go. Where y'all at?
Right. Well, that's what's up. Thank you.
That was dope.
That was a
super
long time.
dope.
That was a lot of fun. That was a good crowd. That was a good night. And yeah, a lot of nights honoring my pops turned out to go very well. You know, everyone's on their A game, and I just try to bring similar energy. So yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was just telling people to get their butts over here. All right. There we go. Yeah, that was an amazing poem, girl. That was amazing. It was super dope. Oh, she said super dope too. We both said super dope because it was, girl. You killed that. Now, do you have any books published at this time?
Not at this time. I do have a CD called The Difference, and it's actually, that piece is on there. Hot is actually track number 2 on that CD. So it's called The Difference, and it's on most streaming platforms like iTunes, Apple. It's not on Tidal, but it's on most streaming platforms besides that. So if you care to buy a track, it's 99 cents a track, or I think it's $5.99 for the whole thing, something like that, $5 or $6 for the whole thing, the price of a latte at Starbucks. So check it out.
I love it. I love it. Hey, you know what? This is another thing I wanted to ask you. Okay. Now I'm from Chicago. Okay. But I grew up in Hollywood. I went to Hollywood High, went to Long Beach and all that. But I lived around kids who had parents who were celebrities. You know what I mean? Some kids were like directors of certain people, or their parents was famous or whatever. Did you ever have that complex of, I want to establish myself? I mean, your name is Gil Scott-Heron, but I mean, you can't really, escape any of that really. But you could have just been like, I'm Gil Heron. Did you ever think about that? Like, do you ever feel like you were overshadowed by the celebrity of your parents?
Like, I not even overshadowed. Like, it was more like when I first started doing poetry, I did that. I just said, just put Miss Gia, or I would put my name as Miss Gia. I wouldn't even put the last name. But the problem was, part of it was a Mic and Dim Lights, Best Kept in them, that whole crew from shouts out to my
shout out.
They knew me from when I was in college. So because I attended school right by where they hosted their open mic. So I had already been there and just used my regular name. So they already knew who I was. So within 6 months of me starting to go to like the Poetry Lounge, shouts out to the Poetry Lounge, and other the secret got out, and I soon found myself walking into a place, and it was weird because I guess they thought they were whispering, but I could totally hear them. that's Gil Scott-Heron's daughter. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, okay, I can hear you say that you know who I am. So it didn't help as much as I tried. Because really, part of it was like somewhat like low-key embarrassment, because like everyone knew about my father's drug addiction. He'd been, incarcerated for it a couple of times already by that time. So it wasn't even like overshadowed by like his fame, but more like trying to just separate myself like from, you know what I mean, from what he was known to do and all that stuff. So it was just like he's a separate individual. I'm me, you know what I mean? I'm,
Yeah,
I may do poetry like, when I was growing up, I didn't even want to be like an artist. I wanted to be an attorney. I didn't want to be anything like my dad. But the more I fought it, the more it like, took over. So I ended up having to just be like, you know what? I am what I am. And I can't, I can't keep swimming and upstream like the salmon do. I know they do it for a purpose to breed and whatnot, but I'm not even trying to breed. So like, why beat myself up and go against the current of who I am? I might as well just go along with the current. So yeah.
Wow. Now you took it on another level. Yeah, that's interesting. Another level meaning like not because of the fame, but because of the notoriety. You know what I mean? And then the Brenda Sykes part of it, like, did you ever get into having any of those? No, your mom pretty much retired from the industry though by the time she had you. So
yeah, she really like, she was like, I'm done. I'm done. Like she has her own she has her own story to tell, but she definitely experienced some things that made her leave and not look back. So, and she doesn't regret it. She's living her best life right now. I mean, remarried and just doing her thing. So I ain't
funny.
Go ahead, mom. I ain't mad at you, do you, boo? So but yeah, like, cause my dad, he went the opposite route, and the industry kind of chewed him up and spit him out, like a piece of gum. They got all the flavor they could out of him, and when all the flavor was gone, they just spat him out or stuck him under a table and left him there, so.
Yeah, they seem to have done that with all of our amazing artists from that era. As a matter of fact, they were very powerful. If I wasn't just an old nerd lady, I would look at these nails. Oh my God. I was gonna paint them for you, Gia. I had to do a lot today.
Dude, don't even trip. It's like,
but like the shy
who has
line,
time for that?
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with my audience. Listen, I have a second job because don't nobody give me no money for these. Like, I don't get cash apps. You know who gets cash apps? Those very flamboyant gossipers that talk about celebrity people. I kind of, I had tapped in. Well, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Oh, the ones that spill the celebrity tea. Those are the ones that get they make it rain on them.
And initially when I was doing, when I very first was doing podcasts, I was just doing TOMEICKO Chronicles and just whatever. But I did do some celebrity gossipy type of things initially, like a lot on Instagram. But I always put it like historical too. You know what I'm saying? But they just be out and out. But anyway, my point is they support that. Like, I see them. They be like, I'm not clicking play until y'all send some money to this cash yet. One dude even got a song. You know what I'm saying? Get your cash app, something, whatever.
And the super chats on those.
Oh yeah,
they'll send a super chat, super sticker, or something.
I don't mean to sound complaining or pressuring folk. Y'all don't owe me nothing. I'm doing this because I really enjoy it. But that's why I switched to interviewing artists, because we could still talk about those things, but I didn't want that to be the focus. I wanted to introduce my younger audience even to you guys, to you and all the other artists that I've interviewed, because A lot of times I play old school music in class and they don't know who these people are. And I'll just be like, that's my homie. I know all these famous, blah, blah, whatever. Talented people is what I'd say. And so I was like, I want to interview these people. I want to let people know who you are and why you're important. And like, check out your music.
Right.
Or whatever talent. Because I'm going to have a couple of comedians on here too. Yeah. I'm very excited about that. And plus I wanted to talk to people I specifically already was acquainted with personally. I've had some people reach out like I don't know them, or I don't really, like their music. We'll keep it like that. Not that I dislike their music, it's just that I don't like their message.
Oh, okay. You don't
So
like what they're promoting.
Yeah, so I'm not really trying to push just because I know you. I'm pushing certain artists that I respect that I think never, not you, but, and not like that never got their shine. Not like I'm fucking, who am I? I got whatever amount of people, but I just mean people that I admire personally. That's who I interview and that I already have a relationship with on a general level. That's who I'm interviewing. And that's that. So, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying I received that. That's what's up. Yeah. I mean, that's always a good thing to do because then you can feel like the energy of the comfortability of the artist with the host. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean that's what people do in Hollywood too. You know what I mean? They're all friends. But anyways, so you did mention that you have a love. Would you be willing to share any of your love poetry?
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to take this opportunity to do some of the poems that I don't always get to do, and make a few announcements. I am doing a show next month, right after Valentine's Day. It's going to be on February the 18th. I'm going to be performing at Spoken Funk, and that is Poetry Smith and Joanne Smith's open mic, or not open mic, but it's their featured show. And it's going to be me, David Romero, and DJ Jamel is going to be there in the house. So it's really looking forward to it. And so, yeah, look for that on my Instagram because I'm definitely going to be posting and advertising. So if anyone's interested, please come on through. My Instagram is Geologic, which is GIALOGIK. And so, yeah, right now, though, I guess for my first poem, I'll do We Are Sharks. Because that is a poem I don't often get to do. It's one of my orphan poems. One of the poems that don't get a lot of shine. They may feel a little bit abandoned, because they don't get as much attention as the other poems do.
Wait,
so
real quick.
We're gonna try to.
I'm sorry, real quick. Geologic at what was that? Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. What is this?
I'm sorry, it was chopped up.
I'm so sorry. That's that gotta press mute thing. Geologic. Is this at Instagram, Facebook? What is it?
Oh, it's without the C. It's GIALOGIK. And Facebook is my government name. So it's just Gil Scott-Heron for Facebook.
Did I spell it right this time?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. And this is on Instagram?
Correct. Yep. That's me on Instagram.
Cool. All right. All right. So, ladies and germs, are you ready, beautiful? All right. Wait, what's the name of this poem?
Yes, this piece is called We Are Sharks. And it is a piece that I got inspired to write at the World Stage in Leimert Park. So shouts out to the World Stage. And I'm a nerd. I date everything. So this was originally written August 8th of 2019. We are sharks, misunderstood and feared. Even though we kill fewer than one person per year, before you grew from the primordial ooze, we were your peers. We might take a bite out of a human being occasionally, just out of curiosity, when you wander into our territory, wade in the water a little too far and swim into our region of the sea. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. A shark's gonna trouble the water. We may confuse you for food every now and again, but we are hunted, harpooned, and wanted dead because in lieu of clam chowder, the Chinese desire shark fin soup instead. Yeah, we are sharks with terrifying teeth, long and sharp. But as sharks, we've been here from the start. We are prehistoric, been around since our landmass was known as Pangea. Besides, eating our fins is supposed to be illegal. If you want to know the truth, really, here's the golden rule. Don't bother us and we won't bother you. Besides, guess what? To us, you taste like plastic or cardboard at best. We don't intend to tear into your flesh on purpose. Those attacks were all just accidents. When viewing you from beneath the surface, sometimes to us, you look like a meal. When you lay down on your surfboards, to us, you look just like seals. So leave us out of your fish nets and keep us out of your mouths. You've never seen a shark barge into your house unannounced, but you disrespect our domain, filling our homes with your garbage and human waste. You poison our sustenance, pollute our environment on a constant basis, and we're just supposed to swim around and accept it? You treat our home like a landfill, and you treat us like a disease, killing us with the greatest of ease, turning our bodies into currency for your fisheries, because you've decided to make our indigestible fins a desired delicacy. And don't get me started on your god-awful movies. In pop culture, we are the bad guys, the evil, bumbling, unwitting villains, positioned for the audience to despise. We're repeatedly demonized and vilified. The whole theater cheers when we meet our demise. We are enemy, animal, the belly, and the beast. And we are the best damn beast that the land or sea has ever seen. But yet you deny our majesty. Treat us like some kind of invasion or infestation, like we're something to be hated and eradicated. We swallow our pride and vomit our indignation in waves as the ocean rages. You poach us for sport and culture. Like our fins and the elephant tusks, y'all just can't get enough. Killing us for big bucks while at the same time convincing yourselves that our lives are worthless. Like we are meaningless. Stealing our innocence and our essence, like the 270 girls that Boko Haram took from their homes and villages. We're not saying that we're royalty like your highness, but we should at least have the right to peacefully exist. Lack of public outcry over the girls confirm that to you, their lives are valueless. Your actions tell them that they matter less when the truth of the matter is their Black lives, like our marine lives, are priceless. But what do we know, right? We're just sharks, probably better off dead. The ecosystem cries like a bereaved widow while you dump our carcasses at the water's edge. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. A shark's gonna trouble the water. Poem.
That was dope. That was dope. Wow. Have you ever gotten like choked up on stage? Like got really into your poem and just be like,
A couple of times when I did my dad's poem, "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised," that's a hard sometimes because I like can sometimes like feel him, you know, in the words. So it's hard to get through. But other than that, not over mine. I just deliver it, and yeah.
and
I've cried while I poems, but not while performing them on stage, except for my dad's, like I said. But yeah,
that's understandable. Now I gotta
yeah,
play it. Now I gotta
yeah.
play it. Wait, okay, so oh my gosh. Okay, so that's another trippy thing. Like that's like the black people slogan. You know what I'm saying? The revolution will not be televised. And so when you hear that, because I'm about to play it, Gia. I'm about to play it. I hope you don't
Thanks
mind.
for warning. I rarely get like DJs, and so I'll get into an open mic or something. That's that's the next thing I hear, and I no warning or nothing, no heads up, just boom.
Say the least, somebody went
Okay,
through a hell of a lot of trouble.
okay, this is what we
When we looked
doing.
things up, we wouldn't fare too well. And we would come up with totally unreliable pictures of ourselves. But I've compiled what few facts I could,
A
such
little.
as they are, to see if we could
Story.
find out
This
a little bit of
is black
something.
wax.
And this is what I got so far. First, white folks discovered Africa. They claimed it fair and square.
Is
Cecil Rhodes couldn't have been robbing nobody because, hell, there wasn't nobody there. And white folks brought all the civilization because there wasn't none around. How could the folks be civilized when wasn't nobody writing nothing down? And just to prove all of their suspicions, well, didn't take too long. They found out that there were whole tribes of people in plain sight running around with no clothes on. That's right. The men, the women, the young, and the old righteous folks covered their eyes, and no time was spent considering the environment. Hell no, this just wasn't civilized. And another piece of information they had, or at least this is what we were taught, is that unlike the civilized people of Europe, these tribal units actually fought. And yes, there was some crude implements, and yes, there was primitive art, and yes, they were masters of hunting and fishing, and courtesy came from the heart. And yes, there was love and medicine, religion, intertribal communication by drum, but no paper, no pencils, and no other utensils. And hell, these folks never even heard of a gun. And this is why the colonies came, to stabilize the land, because the dark continent had copper and gold, and the discoverers had themselves a plan. They would discover all the places with promise. You didn't need no titles and deeds. Then they would appoint people to make everything legal, to sanction the trickery and greed. And back in the jungle, when the natives got restless, they would call it guerrilla attack. And they would never describe that the folks finally got wise and decided that they would fight back. And still, we are victims of word games. Semantics is always a bitch. Places once referred to as underdeveloped are now called mineral rich. And the game goes on eternally. Unity kept just beyond reach. Egypt and Libya used to be in Africa. They've now been moved to the Middle East. There are examples galore, I assure you. But if interpreting were left up to me, I'd be sure every time folks knew this version wasn't mine, which is why it is called his story.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist playing that poem. That right there, that's not the one, but that's the one that I like, because you know why? A lot of people don't know that Libya and Saudi Arabia and all that was part of Africa. I was just telling that to my students the other day. You know, they'd be talking about there's no such land mass as Middle East. That don't even make sense. You know?
And it's not, yeah, because it's not in the middle of the East. Like, it's just, it's Asia and, China and, North and South Korea and Vietnam, or at least Indonesia, Vietnam, India over there, not, Middle East. Like, how is Middle East right above Africa? Like, what in the,
it's literally connected right there.
Yeah. It's just like, let's just make it up and who cares?
Well, they just couldn't give,
Yeah.
and because India is on the other side of the Middle East. Like India is like right there. So, and they consider that Asia. And so I see how they could play that game with the words, but when I really look at the maps for real. But anyway, yeah, that was part of a conversation that we had earlier this week. So I was like, let me go home, play that. Although I know it touches the heartstrings to hear your dad's voice and see him and stuff. I mean, he's a legend. He our daddy too.
It depends on the song or the piece, and if I'm not given any heads up or any warning, you know what I mean? So all those things play a factor. But if you say, hey, I'm about to play something to your dad's or whatever, then I'll be like, oh, okay. And then I can be in the right headspace and emotion space to be like, okay, receive it. You know what I mean? And receive it for what it is, which is like a teaching moment, or with the bottle, something to groove to. And yeah, and a lot of times when I'm asked to do an interview, I'm prepared that that's gonna, because to ignore that would be kind of, I would be more weirded out if I had an interview and it didn't come up than the fact that it does. So I'm never gonna be like coming on to an interview prepared to be all extra sensitive when it's like, no, like, my dad, that's why he made music. It's for everyone to enjoy, not for anyone to get up in their feelings about. Like, it's to be celebrated and, shared and enjoyed, So yeah. Yeah. I do, like I said, there have been times where I've gotten choked up when I'm the one delivering the piece. But like, yeah, when I'm just hearing it, what I'll tell you what gets me is like when I'll be listening to the radio and he comes on all out of the blue, then I'll be like, oh my God, okay. Sometimes I'll have to like pull over if I'm not ready for it. Or one time I was watching Family Guy, just a random cartoon, and they end up like being in the car and they're listening to NPR, and someone mentions, and you can't mention hip hop culture without mentioning the name Gil Scott-Heron. And I'm just like, whoa, okay, random. Like, how did Seth MacFarlane and my dad come into, like, how is that an intersection at all? But and another time when I was watching The Simpsons and they put like, this revolution will be televised or something like that, and I was just like a
Oh, it had to happen, y'all, at some point. Oh, come on, the internet. Well, while she's getting her internet together, yeah, I get choked up too, Hillary. I mean, it's passion, right? Like that whole era of the 1970s was passionate. So definitely, here we go. Hey.
Doesn't like me. I got kicked out. Didn't like what I was saying, so it just kicked me out. But no, I'm just saying, when I'm watching cartoons and my dad comes up just out of nowhere, I don't know if anyone heard me mention The Simpsons, but they had like, I think Homer became part of like a fat people cult, and they had a banner that said like, this revolution will be televised, like ripping off of my dad. So when it comes out of nowhere and it's kind of like this weird, like, inculcation of my dad where he's like kind of forced into the cartoon, and I'm just like, me no likey. But it kind of, it can get me in my feels. But yeah, when it's expected, or, when someone is kind enough to be like, hey, Gia, we about to play something from your dad. Is it cool? Like, then I'm like, yeah, like,
I get
turn
it.
that music up. It's not, my dad made the music. It's not made to sit on a shelf and collect dust. It's made to be played and shared and enjoyed. So
I appreciate you explaining your as the daughter, of he's literally like a icon, you know what I mean, of sorts. Like did you was it Coca-Cola that used your dad's song? Like a while back, I remember hearing the revolution will not be it was Nike, it was like one of them big companies, and they used your dad's song.
No, it was AT&T.
Okay.
So we had to.
But okay, so I wanted to mention to you, Gia. Oh,
It said this revolution will not be televised, it'll be mobilized.
I swear, man. I swear to you. I cannot.
That's the one I remember.
Jeez. There's another there. Oh, okay. So this maybe I should have clarified it more with you. But the reason that I also chose, I wanted you to be the kickoff to I'm calling it the Black History Month series, is because of the fact that you are a very prolific present current artist, and your legacy is something that I wanted to celebrate during Black History Month. Oh, you got people saying, oh, that's terrible, they use your dad's stuff like that. Hell no. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they do.
I
think it would be better if they didn't. Like, it's very on brand for America to take, an iconic, like, you know what I mean, Black literary musician, activist, hero, and like attach him to something like, you know what I mean?
Super anti that.
And mainstream, and yeah, just the dichotomy of the two. It's I would be more weirded out if America didn't try to use my dad for something like that. You know what I mean? It'd be like, oh, you're not gonna do that? How off brand for you. But no, they stayed true to form, and they attached my dad to something very mainstream and lame and clowning, so it is what it is.
And do you have I think not remember, but I think I remember that you have like a foundation or a coalition in your dad's memory or something like that?
I mean, it's still kind of ongoing. I'm still looking for my tribe. We call ourselves the G Squad. If you want to be part of the G Squad, all you got to do is subscribe to my channel, and things will go from there. Because starting this year, I have a project to honor my dad, and I'm gonna need the help and support of everyone in my orbit. Everyone that ever loved my dad's music and wants to honor and celebrate my dad, I encourage them to subscribe to my channel, take part, because there's going to be a lot coming down the pipeline. The first being for Black History Month, like you're starting on your channel. We're doing a poetry slam, and it's going to be centered around my dad, either Gil Scott-Heron or The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. And you cash app your entry fee, and the winner will get to join me as a performer in concert honoring my dad, Gil Scott-Heron. So, very excited.
That's dope.
Because it's something that's been in the works for a few months now. So I'm very excited for, people to join me on my journey, honoring my pops.
That'd be beautiful. Congratulations on that.
Thank
now, do they ask for permission or they just do it? And do they respect the copyright?
Not always. I mean, it depends on who it is, who you're talking about.
Damn. That's really, they really treat that artist shitty, man. I'm sick of that.
His likeness and stuff associated with him has been used ever since he died. It's been used for years. So some of them go through the right channels and do the right thing, and others just say, hey, to hell with it. You know, if I get caught, I'll worry about I'll worry about it if or when I get caught. And sometimes they don't.
I guess that's just the standard way. Is there an age limit for that? That's what Killery's asking.
Oh, 18 and up. Yeah.
Dope.
The
Please
18-year-old.
definitely, if you feel it, come back around and even if it's just for a few minutes, push that because it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'll be February 9th at 2:30 on Clubhouse. I don't know if I think more people are familiar with what Clubhouse is than they were before.
You know what? You're like the fourth person that mentioned Clubhouse to me. February 9th. What time?
At 2:30, that's Pacific Standard Time. So if you're in the East Coast, that's going to be 5:30 your time. But February the 9th.
Okay. I'm trying to post it on here.
But I'm the person that's mentioned the app Clubhouse to you.
Yeah, I never heard of Clubhouse. And some people told me I should go on Clubhouse.
Yeah, I think you could do very well on Clubhouse. I mean, it's a lot of it is what you already do, just minus the visual. It's just, it's all auditory on Clubhouse. But yeah, I mean, I think you would shine on Clubhouse because you already have a presence. You already know how to have the gift of gab and know how to talk. So that's really all Clubhouse is a bunch of talking.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Would you like to share another poem?
Sure, I will do that.
Yeah.
I am excited about this piece. I'm gonna do the edited version when I do spoken funk because everything there is like gotta be hot, concise, boom, But here it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's my interview. I can take my time. I can do the extended
whatever you want.
Exactly. So I'm gonna do the extended unabridged version. I'm gonna do the full length version because I have, the long version of the piece and the shorted, edited version of the piece. And it's called This Armor of Mine. And it was right before I had a protection spell done on me. I know it's not very Christian of me because I was raised Christian, but my parents were both Buddhists.
My mother's Buddhist too.
My mother is Buddhist as well.
That's where my name comes from.
My father was a Buddhist. See? And my middle name is Mitsuko. I know, right? I know. That's what I'm saying. And it means child of the light or light bringer. And the ko, like with TOMEICKO, is because the ko makes it a feminine, just like when you do feo, it's the masculine, and fea is like the, feminine. O and a is feminine in Spanish, but ko is the feminine in Japanese. So yeah, my parents both Buddhists. Yes, honey. So the similarities go on and on.
I knew it was something. Yeah, Buddhism. The most peaceful people I've ever met were Buddhists. I know we were getting back to the spells thing, but you know what? In the Bible, there are spells, and Proverbs are a bunch of spells. Psalms is a bunch of spells. I've had my elder people tell me to read certain ones for protection too. So, you know what I'm saying?
Oh. So yeah, I was just very much mentally in that space of like feeling like I needed protection. I was going to my dad's childhood home of Jackson, Tennessee, where he was being honored because they were going to unveil a marker in front of the museum for him. And then across the street, they unveiled a mural that depicted him. It's beautiful. It's on my YouTube channel, pictures of it and stuff like that. So check it out. but it was a very beautiful thing. But yeah, I just felt like going into it, I was like, I need protection. So my mind was very much on that, and I ended up having protection spell on me, and it calmed my nerves, if nothing else. Even if it's like taking a placebo or a sugar pill, I received it for what it was, and it did the trick. But I ended up writing this piece called This Armor of Mine. And I kind of just basically kind of mentally envisioned having a suit of armor, and like what that suit of armor, what it would consist of. So this is that piece. Yeah, This Armor of Mine. Written September 17th and 18th of 2022. Because like I said, I'm a nerd and I date everything.
I also do that. I date all my songs and poems.
Okay. And it helps because when you go back, you know, you're not always going to remember, and it helps to remember because then you're like, oh, this is when I was going through this in my life or whatever. It's just,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly why I do that.
It makes order out of chaos, I'm telling you, because in this mind, there's a lot going on in here, and I can't always. I'm the kind of person where I'm going to want to know later, and if I don't have that information available, it's going to bug me. So
wait a minute, aren't you a Pisces?
Yes,
I remember.
I'm so OCD when it comes to dates, but yeah, that's my little fun fact about me. But anyways, This Armor of Mine. Extended version. Here we go. This armor of mine is made from grandmama's blood, daddy's sweat, and mama's tears. This armor right here is made of keloided tissue, courtesy of scars born from Massa's whip, utter disfigurement, until our ancestors' backs resembled road maps that led back to the land where they were originally attacked and kidnapped, back to Mother Africa, while other scars resemble underground tracks that led passengers to a freedom they'd never known. This armor is made from bones of souls taken home, taken to an early grave, souls that couldn't be saved, sent by cop's knee, gun, baton, or billy club. This armor comes at a cost. This armor is sprinkled with spells of protection, charms, sacred psalms, and enchantments, like Isaiah 54:17. No weapon fashioned or formed against me shall prosper. And it's also tatted with the Swahili, Penyenia Pananjia. Where there's a will, there's a way. Let the church say amen and ashe, because this armor of mine is made of Wakanda grade vibranium. The Navi even bestowed upon me a piece of their unobtainium. A portion of this armor was made with the amber and hard sap from the giving tree. So when I put it on, there ain't no stopping me. It melts snowflakes on contact. It's able to absorb the slings and arrows of outrageous oppression and microaggressions. And if my armor's in the vicinity, it can even mute calls made by Karens to the police. This armor keeps my head on a swivel, has saved me more than thrice, kept me out the morgue and my toes tag free, has allowed me to sprout gray from my temples. Best of all, it's easy to assemble. My armor is not a one size fits all. It's a one of a kind. It's practically a prototype. And it's not available on Amazon or any .com. This armor cannot be bought using Apple Pay, Google Pay, or Easy Pay, nor via Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. The spirits do not accept credit or debit cards, IOUs, CODs, or EBT. This armor comes at a cost, y'all. It comes at the cost of loved ones. Their spirits and essence are the threads that hold the elements of this armor together. They envelop you at key moments in your life, moments when you swear you should have died but somehow survived. Like at age 9 at the water's edge, a big wave knocked me down. I thrashed about. I should have drowned. But Yamaya, the Orisha of the Omiokun, the sea goddess, she recognized my armor and told the ocean it should have known better than to swallow me. And before I could tell up from down, the sea turned around and spit me out. Then at age 25,
The building that I occupied was shot at 9 times. By all rights, everyone inside should have died. But my armor is unsympathetic, unyielding, and unrepentant. The only thing that interests my armor is my continued protection. Any bad energy gets sent back, returned to sender. Because I bear the blessed, back-breaking burden of barbaric bloodshed. I constantly and consistently carry the courage and the conscientious callings from the spirits of my people, callings from the spirits of the ancestors. The seeds of their strange fruit live in my bloodstream. I am their sequel. Remnants of charred bark from past lynchings still linger in the strands of my DNA. But Peñania Panangia, where there's a will, there's a way. So obviously I wear this armor every day. Not just on special occasions or on a mission. My armor is toxin-free, BS-proof, and water-resistant. It's even hypoallergenic for my sensitive skin condition. My armor gets easily dirty, but is also easily cleaned. It can be hand washed, machine washed, or even dry cleaned. I plan to care for this armor the way it has always cared for me. I pay homage to the ancestors who sacrificed so that this armor and this moment could belong to me. Asante Sana for this moment. Asante Sana for this time. I thank you for your protection, and I thank you for this armor of mine. Poem.
Snap, 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 snap. That's dope. Oh, Hillary says we are reflections of each other. Well, yes. I would say that. I would say that. I would say. Now, if you tell me your moon is Virgo, I'll be really like, dang. Because my my moon is Pisces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My moon is born.
That was such an amazing poem. Now, is that recorded?
Thank you. No, not yet. Not yet. It will be. I've been sent some beats, so I'm reviewing them now. And I just want to choose one that because the instrumentals for my first album. Oh, shouts out to Corey Jacobs, man. Corey Keys. That's my Corey Jacobs. He is a genius, Grammy nominated producer and musician, plays the keyboard, plays a lot of instruments actually. And he did the instrumentation for my first album, and just everything I feel like, it was like a hand inside a glove that just was meant for it, So I don't want to follow it up with, I'm spoiled now. Now I can't accept anything that if it's not in pocket, I can't accept it. You know what I mean? So
I get it. I got spoiled just from going to the Good Life. They had some of the dopest producers, some of the deepest and dopest rappers I ever heard. So there was the standard already. So it was really hard to get tracks after that. It's like, no, it's not good enough. I'm still like that.
Right. When they set the bar high, man, it's hard to just accept any old thing. You can't. Because it's your baby, too. It's like, no, my baby deserves the best. Okay? My baby deserves the best of everything. So,
you know what? Maybe you could, let's do a song, maybe. Because I'm working on something, too. I'm working on a little project. If I could stop procrastinating. Oh, my God. I'm not I'm just busy. It's what it is. But you can't be too busy. Like you said, it's your baby. You have to baby your baby.
Okay, yeah. We'll set up a play date for just let me know.
Oh, this echo feedback is annoying. Can you repeat that?
Oh, I was saying, I said let's arrange a play date for our babies so our poems can meet. And just let me know what the theme is. And if I already have something in my catalogs, then I'll whip something up together, off the spot.
Thank you. Sister says, ladies, pleasure being here and share space in this virtual world. GS, so happy to be here. Oh, that's dope. Thank you, Hillary, for the good energy. And then Mr. Monzon gives you flames, flame, 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 flames.
That's him. That's my fiance.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna send him an invite if he wants to join. If that's okay, do you want him to join? I'm gonna put the link right here in here. And if you would like, you private, Mr. Monzon. Well, if you feel so inclined, you go on and click this right here. This is it. You just click that,
Yeah.
and then you'll be right next to your queen.
We're us ladies, we'll see. But yeah, he's a true Pisces. He's a little bit more shy than most, you know.
Well, I love it. And I love you guys together. That's really dope. That's really dope. So, okay, I saw the ringy ring. Do y'all have plans, wedding plans?
You know, we set a date and then it gets canceled. And when we set another date and then it gets canceled. So I'm gonna we're kind of like playing it by ear at this point because at first it was the pandemic that really shut it down. Because we had it set for October 16th, 2020, sweetest day. And yeah, when the pandemic hit, it wiped everything away. Because, you know, a lot of stuff was closed. Then I had my horrible thing with my wisdom tooth. Oh my God. Right around the time of the George Floyd incident and all those protests. Oh, that was a nightmare. 2020 was the year from hell. Can we just say that?
That year sucked. Hillary, good night. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you so much. I have folks that come through weekly, and it's just really dope. So I wanted to say thank you for coming through, and good night to you, and thank you for the good vibes. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Yeah, 2020 sucked. I mean, so many people died, and you know, I had learned that the people I was working with at this school, they thought I was lying. They thought that when I was saying so and so, my friend so and so, my so and so died, they thought that I was trying to get out of work. And I'm like, who lies about that kind of stuff? Why would I lie about that? So disrespectful. So disrespectful. Oh, side note, I'm a wedding officiant. Just so you know.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind.
I mean, I have hip hop weddings.
You can't even ask a question like who would lie about that nowadays, because now that Trump, he lied 20,000 times a day. Look at the newly elected dude, George Santos, lied about his whole existence, fabricated everything, his education, that he worked at Goldman Sachs, that he did this, that, and the third. Like, and all of it was a lie, that he was like Jewish or part Jewish or something on his mama's side. And it all turned out to be fabricated. So you can't even ask, like, who would lie about this, that, and the third. That used to be a valid question. But nowadays, it's like, no, there are niggas out there that will lie about that and some more shit. You know what I mean?
Girl, people be lying about their sexuality. So I know that.
Everything. Just their sexuality. They'll lie about their ethnicity, their age, their date of birth, what zodiac sign they are, what part of the country they were born, if they even pretend to be born in this country. Or some of them done outside of, you know what I mean? There was that girl, there's a Netflix, Inventing Anna. Watch that. It has Anna. See, and that bitch pretended to be for a duchess from Germany or whatever. Remember, I'm trying to tell people be lying. Okay, even in court, they be testifying instead of testifying. I'm dealing with liars in my own personal life. People pretending to be my father's children.
That's another thing I was gonna ask, but I didn't know if I didn't know about asking about that. But no, I wasn't Hillary. I didn't know you talking about George Floyd, or I don't know any Floyds. How about that? And I've never been to Minneapolis. Although I think that's a very fascinating city. Please repeat that, Gia.
Sorry, I objected because I ended up saying that I actually have been to Minneapolis and St. Paul. Back in like 2010, I went to Minneapolis, St. Paul because they had the national poetry competition there. So the National Poetry Slam. Shouts
That's
out to NPI. So
I should have got more involved in all of that stuff. I really dropped the ball. You know what I mean? Like I didn't join no poetry slam, nothing. Everybody around me was going on Def Poetry Jam. I was such a snob at the time. I swear I was such a snob. I was like, slam? That? I was tripping. I was tripping. I wish I would have gone on Def Poetry Jam. I would have had a good time. I would have done well, I would think. I was foolish. But then at one point I did try to go on there, but oh man, here we go again. Okay. Meanwhile, yeah, it's true. I was trying to go on. I wasn't really, I don't know. I won't say I was a snob. I really was more so like, I just thought the poetry scene got watered down. And it wasn't about the lyrics as much as it was about being seen. I want to be seen. I'm an actor, but I'm out of work. So I'm just trying to be seen kind of stupidness. And I just was like, oh, I was so disgusted. That's when I started using the name Watts 1965. Because I was very popular as a poet in LA. I was considered one of the popular ones. You know what I mean? Oh, Hillary. Oh, why don't you put it on your phone? You don't drive around and listen to the podcast. That's what I do. Also, just so you guys know, we are also going to be on, we're on Spotify, Google. Let me let her know too. Hey, just so you know, because Hillary's like, I honestly do not want to leave. Oh, that's dope. I just want Hillary and everybody out there in the audience to know we are on Spotify, Amazon Music, okay, Amazon Podcast, Google Podcast. I get a lot of listeners from Apple Music. That's very interesting. Most of my listeners come from Apple Music. So shout out Apple folk. Anchor.com, anchor.fm, by the way. So there's a lot of folks out there that's going to hear this broadcast. And what else? A lot of people in America. We have a lot of people in America that listen to us. But we have people in Germany. Shout out Germany. Shout out India. Shout out Egypt. We have listeners in Egypt and Ireland too. So shout out everybody. And yeah, man, I don't want to hold you up too much longer. I will keep talking. I will. I will say, can you do some more poetry? I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know.
Yeah,
okay.
Saying shouts out to the international crew. Yeah, I don't know how long your show goes.
Girl, the longest one I had was with Prince Poe, and it was 5 hours, but it didn't seem like 5 hours. It was awesome. I love Prince Poe. He's such a cool cat to talk to. Who's Keenan Anderson? Who's that? Hillary.
Yeah, no, I actually my phone was low battery, so
not to scare you, but yeah, that was 5 hours, but that was I was like this at the end. Wow. We were like both kind of almost nodding off, but it was just so awesome talking to him. Usually they've been like 3.5 hours on average. I think the two shortest ones was J. Rowe was like an hour and a half, but he has a new baby and a new wife. And they were both coming in now. I got that. And Mike and I think, because it was like New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve. It was like Christmas or New Year. I can't remember. And he was eating. I loved it. I loved it. And that was like the shortest one. And I think Fat Lips was like 2.5. But everybody else, Voodoo, Cobra Red, all of us, it'd be like 3.5, almost 4 hours. Mates do come on board, like at the end, you know, husbands and wife, all of them are married. So it's like everybody's wife or husband ends up coming in the scene because they're like, where you been? What you doing? Why are you still in there?
Right. They be disappearing so long and be like, damn, like, what the hell? What's
Are you really talking to a podcast? Yes, they're really talking to a podcast, and we are not talking romantic at all. We're just chit chat.
Yeah, like, is it an interview or an interview?
Yeah, I'm so just not on that tip at all. Any woman out there, you don't have to worry about me at all, ever, ever, ever. I'm still legally married anyway. I mean, not that that matters to
Right.
me at this point because I'm not with the brother. Just so y'all know, yeah, I'm letting y'all know officially I'm not with Volume 10 anymore. I'm good. Thank you. That's another story for another day. But
some of us just aren't that type of female, you know? We're not the type to just be like all up on somebody else's man or anything like that. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, ew.
not
you know what I mean?
I mean, when I was 19, I had a entanglement. Foolish entanglement, and I learned some serious lessons from that experience too. That's what made me like never.
Mhm.
Very selfish, it's 19. I've after you have children, not even but for me, like when I pushed children out of my stomach, that made me really even more respect women more than I already did, but like even more. Like I really love women. Like I honor and respect women because there's you holding a baby in your goddamn stomach, a human being, and then you push them out or get them cut out, and you're risking your life. And yeah, so I never intentionally disrespect any woman, period. But even before I had children, that was a mistake. I was foolish, and I even apologized, to the situation, but yeah, I learned a long time ago. Women work really hard in relationships. Like women, wives, they're like slaves. And I don't want to go back to that world. So I would never disrespect the women that are in those traps. The traps, people. Stay away from them. Run.
Or just really love their man. You know what I mean? That
Well, on
they
the
don't.
basic level, yeah. When you love your mate, you don't want to have them sharing themselves with someone else, spiritually, mentally, or physically, or financially. Okay.
Right.
I get it. So yeah, I respect relationships. Like I know they're hard work and they take a lot of dedication. So
Yeah.
and I never, I remember when I've been cheated on. So I've been like, well, I want to be the fun girl. I want to be the fun girl. Why do I have to be the one that has to talk about fucking bills and rent and kid shit and all that dumb shit? And then you go have fun with the other hoe? Yo, let me be the fun girl. So when we broke up and then the girl was the main girl, right? It wasn't fun no more. But I was already gone, good and gone. Good and gone. Yeah, because it's not easy. It's not easy. I love love too. I love love. I love seeing people in love and building on their love. So for some trifling trick to just come through like, hey, boy. But again, if a dude is like willing to roll out, then he wasn't yours anyway. That's how I feel about it. That's what I reason out. When my ex did that to me in Atlanta of all places, I was like, yo, do you mind if I smoke? Would I offend you? Oh gosh. I was gonna say with my prop. It's a prop. It's not real weed, I promise. Yeah, totally. Get out. Where's my beat it? Close the door. I need to smoke a little, so I can't. Am I offending my audience? I hope not. With my prop, CBD legal acting prop. Hey, you know what? On a side note, while she's hopefully clicking back in. So I don't know. Is anybody on here paying attention to Jaguar Wright or any of that drama? Because I really want to tap in. You're offended, Dirty Daddy? Well, let me put this on while I talk to y'all then. It used to be this song. Roll that shit, like that shit, smoke that shit. Roll that shit, like that shit, smoke that shit. But anyway, anybody, let me know out there if you're familiar with the Jaguar Wright drama that's going on. Because I have tea. I have personal tea. Like I was about to work with that sister, man, before she just kind of went way to the left. But I'm like one of the only podcasters that's not like profiting off of it. Like I don't want to exploit her like that. You know what I mean? I may talk about it like right now. And there's nothing to really talk about, you know, except the videos I've seen as of late with this whole, you know, first of all, nobody's responded yet to let me know if y'all even know what I was talking about. I know you were just kidding, Dirty Daddy Pig. I don't give a shit. Your name's 420. I know. So Killary, oh my God, Killary, you're still here. Oh my God. You're making me laugh. Okay, so here's the tea. So yeah, man, listen, she's a prophet, you know, and I do believe that everything she's speaking or has spoken about has a lot of validity, man. But you know, she to me, is she still locked up? Girl, just let me tell you, child. So okay, so I've only been getting what I've gotten from the blogs. I haven't reached out to Goomba or anything. I'm telling you, I was in the text circle. Like we were, all of us were in group chats and stuff. I was, you know, I don't know if y'all know about Nosy Ho and all that drama either, but Nosy Ho had taped when Jag was talking to her about some personal business and she put it on her podcast and it affected her marriage, Jaguar's marriage. Now, I was in the same meetings, okay? I was in the same fucking meetings. Because she was interviewing, she was like getting to know other black, she was trying to unite all the black podcasters and shit, right? Oh, you can't see this. Hold up. So I was in like the little circle and like I've talked to her on the phone, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, G, I'm just finished telling this thing. Are you familiar with Jaguar, right?
Not personally. Remember, we talked about it.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me put this screen on real quick. So I was just catching up with some folk and just saying.
No one has sued her because she's telling the truth. Maybe no one sued her because she ain't got nothing. I mean, if they did, what money would they get?
Well, you said got nothing. I was thinking you meant like she ain't got no receipts. You
Oh
know?
no, I don't.
She ain't got no
doubt
real proof.
she might have receipts too. That's true.
I
mean, it might not be worth the trouble of trying to sue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, who is Nosy?
Sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth, you know?
Nosy, hold on, let me close my door.
Oh, Nosy Ho, but it was spelled Heaux.
Do you watch her, girl? Do you watch it?
I watched a video of hers and then I was kind of turned off, you know?
Oh, really? Okay.
It was so much of a drag fest. I don't know, maybe I clicked on the wrong video, but
no, she's very okay. I have like I have a fascination with smart mouth people, and she's one of them. Not in person though. I don't prefer them in person because I'm the smart mouth, and then we'll have a problem. But but it was me and Nosy and this guy named not T-Pain, Killer Pain. It was just like a bunch of they're like large. I'm this very small amount, but they have like thousands of followers and all that stuff. And so I was flattered.
Is she still on YouTube? Because I thought her channel got banned.
It did, but she got put back on.
Oh, she did. So she has a channel again.
That's what I'm saying. Like her and Jaguar go like really close, and she felt betrayed because Jaguar flipped it. Now Jaguar's argument, and I hear her, but I wouldn't have done that. But I didn't do that. Her argument is like Jag was starting to talk a lot like real like dangerous even, you know what I mean? You can't just say certain things and just think ain't nobody gonna follow through on something for you. Right. So I felt her on that, and I had asked a few of my industry friends like, should I even be dealing with this lady at all? They were like, nah, don't go on her show, don't deal with her. She's entertaining, but nobody will take you serious, and nobody will take because she's a liability. So no.
Right.
And so I wasn't gonna do it, and unless I had her on my show like we're doing, and she'd focus on singing, and I would make her focus on singing and
Right.
talking about her shit.
Right.
None of these people have been.
Ability.
None of these folks have seemed like they have enough. I don't know what the word I'm looking. Grit came to mind to just put her. Shut the. Hey, listen. Because it's not that again, nobody knows the truth about that, but the people involved in those things. She was very entertaining and she's an excellent storyteller. I'll give her that. And I do think that without her, I don't know her enough to say this, so I can't speak for her, but she still was being prophetic about some things, even if she consciously didn't know that. You know what I mean? And then what's happening to her seems to almost pretty much happen to every single person that has come on those levels.
That
Lock
spills.
'em up, call them crazy. But in this instance, there's a lot of bloggers out there, podcasters out now who are saying that that dude that came to her and her husband was a setup.
Could be.
I would agree with Hillary too. I think Jag is just fed up with dark spirits. After her son died, she's just over everyone.
Yeah.
Well, when we say dark spirits, I think we mean like her sadness, her broken heart, her guilt even. Mothers do feel guilt sometimes with their kids when that shit happens to them. I mean, I can relate to, I don't know if I'm just saying when they're sick, I get pissed off. I mean, like I get mad when they get sick. I get mad at them too. Like, I mean, mad. And they be like, why are you mad? Like, cause I don't like when you're sick.
Right.
It upsets me.
Right. Yeah, to a degree, you feel helpless. You can't really do much, but just try to help them through it. But yeah, no, sickness, and especially when it's a child, I don't know. I mean, and it doesn't follow the natural order of things to bury a child or to outlive a child, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I understand how having lost one of her kids altered her.
Right. And she's just like on a rampage, like, I'm mad at the whole world.
To a degree, maybe. And she's probably a lot more like easily triggered than she was in the past,
Very good point.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, losing a child like that can probably leave you on edge, probably leave you agitated, make you really raw emotionally so that the slightest thing could set you off. You don't know. I mean, especially if you don't seek therapy or seek a way to make sure you've gone through the grieving process. I had to go through that. There was a long time where my grieving over my father had to be postponed because I was so busy fighting. You know what I mean? Death brings out the worst in people too. Like,
I've seen it.
How the rest of her family members reacted to the death of her son, or if they were adequately supportive or helped her enough through that.
I don't think she probably felt supported. I think that's why she popping off on everybody. Because at first she wasn't talking shit about Jay-Z. You know what I mean? And now she's just like, Jay-Z's a devil. Beyonce's a slave.
Yeah, they talking
about they all.
And then it's weird though, because sometimes it's like when you hear things over and over, you be like, maybe there's something to that. Like, because Tory Lane's dad was talking a gang of stuff about Rock Nation. But it's like, you can't blame Rock Nation for everything. If there's a blizzard tomorrow, I doubt that Rock Nation controls the space station or the meteorological climate or whatever. Come on now. At a certain point, life is just life. And sometimes life sucks. It doesn't need any help from any other outside forces for it to suck. It just sucks naturally on its own sometimes.
Yeah. So, wow.
Sense, But I don't know. I shouldn't have even brought that up, Tory
Girl,
Lanez.
are you kidding me? That's been the girl. I've been losing sleep listening to this stuff. You hear me? I am in. And then I met Tokyo Tony too. It was like all of us in this whole little phone thing.
Oh,
And then we had a test run on camera. You know what I'm saying? All of the little ladies and a couple of men too. But I didn't think to play, the shit that she was kind of popping off. You know what I mean? That's family. That's husband and wife shit. You know what I mean? They was having a moment. They stressed out. She was fussing on set at him. You know what I mean? And homegirl recorded it, put it on her show, and then caused a big thing. Yeah, I'm fucking other niggas. I don't know, whatever she said. I'm not saying that's but something to that effect, like
allegedly.
alleged. I'm not, but I didn't feel right doing that because let me tell you what we did talk on the phone was like I said the reason I wanted to reach out to you was to let you know that we had the same mentor, Michael Collier. And she's like, "Oh my God, I've been trying to find Michael Collier forever. Oh my God." So I was like, "Hold on." So I called him on three-way. And then we both got put on he put us on his show, you know, and he put us on, no, there was a prop. Oh, sorry, you didn't see the question. Here's the question.
Oh, okay.
No.
Of course not.
Oh, pshaw. But yeah, so but I felt that was private business, not my business. So I even did this mug. You know what I mean?
Mm.
They're having their family moment. I mean, if this girl is on the run, even if it could be in her head, it could not be in her head. Do I want to? Not, I'm high right now, like excited with life.
Yeah, I don't smoke or anything inside.
And I just be kidding around with that.
Just the angle of the camera and like how I'm looking in order to look at TOMEICKO versus.
This Chubbs, I'm tripping off this right here, man. I started working out. Come on, tell me. Yeah, tell me something.
I don't notice from the last time we met. I don't notice any.
I've been starting to work out more. I've been eating. Yes. Usually I don't eat lunch, but I've been really like making sure I eat lunch at work. For years, I would just have a banana and some water all day.
That's kind of how I was with breakfast. I wouldn't eat until lunch. Like I would have like a thing of yogurt or banana.
Light yogurt, fruit.
But I wouldn't like chow down until like lunchtime. So that's interesting that
try keto.
With that.
Yeah, Jaguar is super talented. Like
she is. And like I was listening to Lovely T and she touched on something that I kept thinking about. I was like, she said she was waiting for her to use what she was doing, like spilling tea and stuff, to build up her own channel.
That's what I thought too.
And then like start like singing, like doing little teasers on her channel, and then like flipping that into like releasing a single.
Yeah, I believe that's the case.
An EP, like building. She thought she was building a buzz, like building up to something, not just building up to fizzle out. So
that's when she started tripping, hanging out with that cult dude. What's his name? Solar
from
Solar. You know him?
No, I don't know him personally.
No, I'm saying you're knowing about the situation.
Yeah.
The husband I saw him tonight on Night and Day Network, who I love. They're so awesome. They interviewed
about the situation.
They had the husband on there, Goomba, and he was talking about everything that's going on right now and his point of view of what went down that day with the police and the throwing the
At the
acids.
top.
Yeah, he talked about what built up to that. He said this dude just started hanging out with them all of a sudden, and she was calling him her nephew and stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of odd.
And then she started drinking. And then drinking more and more and stuff. And I saw her slurring on camera.
Yeah.
That was different. They found her weak spot and they sent that dude, is what they're saying on the YouTube streets, to break up their marriage and cause that disruption. They do psyops. They know what your weaknesses are. They can just bring somebody to you. He light skin, he got long dreadlocks, he in a sex cult. She likes sex, or whatever they think. Allegedly. I'm just
Right.
samples.
Like, for instance, right.
But and then the husband was trying to be patient with that, but he said, I realized he wasn't her real nephew.
Okay. So she even tried to play it off to him like they were actually related.
He said, when I realized he wasn't her nephew, that's when I started getting mad. He said that tonight.
I think anybody would, right? I mean,
let my husband start bringing some niece around, and they do that. They'll be like, oh, that's my niece.
Right. Like, oh, okay.
So she flipped it. That's my nephew.
Like, this is not Snoop Dogg and Eminem, okay? Like, you cannot play like
It's kind of a fucking G-ass move, but it's evil.
Yeah, I don't know if it's G.
I'm not saying G like that's a good thing. I'm saying like how pimp people types think about that type of behavior.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting over. I'm doing something. I'm getting over on something. You're right. She does. She needs community, but I don't know if her credibility is shot now because
That's the thing. I'm hoping she didn't miss her window. I'm hoping she didn't miss her moment. Cause I mean, again, like Lovely T was saying, when she first started spilling tea and like breaking the internet with like her stories and stuff like that, that would have been the perfect time to launch, her own shit. And like she kind of like almost did and then didn't. Cause there is a channel, it's a Jaguar Right channel. I don't know if it's her.
Philadelphia Network or something like that, and she created something. I thought it was just a website, but they saying it's a network, it's on Roku, whatever. But people are saying it wasn't working, so then she accused Beyonce's mother and Jay-Z of messing up her IP address or whatever, like messing with it. That's what she said, child.
So they sabotaged her.
That's what she said, child. Allegedly. No, I saw her say that. She said that on Nosy Ho, I think. When her and Nosy Ho was cool. With Nosy Ho, she be rude.
At first you don't succeed, try again. Then try some other platform. Try some other avenue. Don't let that just be the end all be all and let them win. I don't know. I'm not her. I can't speak for her. I'm just saying, like, I just feel like she should have. You're on mute still.
Yeah, it's just the pattern of the story started to change and they got really grimy.
That's the thing. You can only do it for so long before it gets played out. That's why I keep saying I hope she hasn't missed her window or her moment to just, you know what I mean? Do whatever she's gonna do. At a certain point, you either gotta shit or get off the pot. Either you gonna go number 2 or you through. And you gonna wash your hands and get out the bathroom. You just make a decision. You can't just keep shitting on people and spilling tea, because after a while it's like, okay, we get it. Like, you dragged X, Y, and Z. Like you're
Everybody want to work with you now because you don't talk about everybody now, except for Raphael Sadiq.
and that's what I'm saying. We've gone from A to Z.
Terry Lynn Carrington, or whatever her name is, the
You
jazz.
know, just like
People who put them on albums, though, she's not talking about them.
alphabet next. Like you just, at a certain point, you gotta. At a certain point, you spill tea. The pot's empty, bitch. Like,
but then again,
kettle and at least let the tea brew and do something else. Like you're not Wendy Williams. You are not. So like, quit telling everybody's business and tell us why we should be interested in you besides you knowing everybody's secret business.
You hit the hammer on the head, girl. I have much love and respect to the sister, though. I love her energy. She's very
disrespect intended. Like I'm not trying to speak, ill of her, speak down on her. It's just like I don't know. And I mean,
girl, I believe you said it well.
But it's like, girl, like
you're right, but no, Hillary, because I thought that too. But then one of those interviewers said, "Would you be open to having a conversation with Jay-Z?" And she said, "Yes." See, and when she said that let me know. And then that she said, I think in another one, she said she was open to having a talk with Gil Scott. So I don't think she's real solid on hating people. I think she's just angry and in pain about, like you said, the son dying. That was only a couple years ago, 3 years ago. That was not that long ago.
Yeah.
But I respected her. I was willing initially in some parts to work with the sister. But at this time, I think she needs time to be healing and shit. You said yikes. No, not like, I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, it's time for a new gimmick.
Yeah, exactly. Like at a certain point, man, again, like you gotta change the channel. You gotta flip the frequency. You gotta find something else, either something else to talk about or something else to do. Because you don't want to just be a gimmick or have people not take you seriously or not acknowledge your talent.
I think she does want to sing. And I don't think she wants to just sing in these little small little clubs. I think she would like probably to be able to sing with the big people.
Absolutely. Madison,
actually.
Like places like that.
She's amazing. I listened to the one she did with Jay-Z. I listened to a lot of her music, actually. I like the song she did with Terry Lynn Carrington, by the way. All jokes aside.
Right.
But yeah, I want to be able to.
And the thing is too, also, if you keep dragging people, like even if you do go back into, singing or whatever, who's gonna want to work with you?
That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying.
And known as like a pariah, and like no one's gonna be like, no, you're the woman who like tells everyone's business and stuff unsolicited, So no gracias. Or if you want, you can go ahead and sign this NDA right quick. Look, just to protect myself, I ain't setting foot in the studio with you until you sign an NDA, because we know you got loose lips.
I'm with you, Hillary. I'm rooting for the sister too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want her to be successful.
I want to see her win so bad.
We all do. I think a lot of us felt her. I mean, she had 1 million views on that most recent interview on Real Life.
Right.
Street Stars or whatever. It's just some people don't want to believe that about their favorite artist, though. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to believe
that too. Right.
These people have something to do with Kitty, whatever, and just outlandish stuff she was saying.
Right.
Somebody wants to. She's trying to unveil the ugliness. But what's the end root point? What some people were asking, like, what's the
Right.
ultimate?
What is the objective? What's the goal? What are you getting at? Like, what are you getting out of this at the end of the day?
Or are you just the Mad Hatter, you know?
Right. Or are you just ranting and raving just for the sake of ranting and raving? And that can't be it. Like, at least make some money off of it. Dang. Like, spilling tea for free or for a few dollars, nothing that can just keep systematically making you money, like passive income or something like that. Like,
And that's why she needs a real manager.
God, yeah, you gotta strategize. So you should have someone in your corner helping you monetize that or build on that or something.
I mean, that's what I felt like the network is supposed to do, isn't it? I don't know.
Well, not always, no, because it's not always in their best interest to do that. It's their best interest to keep you ignorant and keep you in the dark. As long as they're making their cut, they could care less about what you learned from the experience. I hope you learn as little as possible so that you don't learn how they're getting over on you.
Which is why they're mad at Kanye.
Could be.
Yay.
Could be. Like, oh, you one of them smarty odd niggas.
Smarty odd. Yeah.
You one of them smart niggas. You think you too good for the field, huh?
Uppity.
House nigga, huh?
Uppity. Uppity nigga.
Uppity niggas. Oh, God. But yeah, man, no, like for real, low key, like I think that a lot of them desire us to like recognize our place and stay in it. They don't want us elevating. They don't want us getting to. I mean, same thing happened with my dad. Come on now.
I would agree with you too, Hillary.
What's she saying? Yeah.
She was doing a lot by herself and then driving all around. You know, remember, she was always in a car rolling out. That is exhausting.
Yeah.
Exhausting. You know what I mean? But really, it's when this little dude from the sex thing started coming around. I think
And I think 85% is a fair margin because, you know, sometimes people exaggerate. They add a little extra sauce. You know, they add something or they take it away. It's like the game of telephone. You know, it goes around enough, it comes back and it's not even recognizable from how it started. So, you know, yeah. But I mean, you know, that's with most things. You got to take it with a grain of salt. And you got to consider the source. How likely are they to know what the hell they're talking about?
Right, and that's why people thought they could trust what she was saying because she's from that ilk.
Exactly. No, that part is unquestionable. Like whether or not she had access or was there, that's not what's in question. But again, it's like what is the point of you doing that? Like,
She sister said she's trying to wake people up to unveil the ugliness. That's so people stop going in that damn industry. But you know, youngsters are still gonna probably do it because money.
Thank you.
Economically challenged.
Parents, and yeah, as long as you have people that desire that thing, like, come on now, you can't.
Yeah, I desired that.
And not only that, they're gonna think, oh well, that won't happen to me. That won't happen to me. Oh, that's them. That's not. You know what I'm saying?
450 rappers later. You know, 200 rappers died in 2021.
Oh.
And then 250 rappers died in 2022.
Yeah.
Some from drugs, some from
violence. Yeah. Like XXX Tentacion and PNB Rock, and there's a lot of them. Takeoff, you know, it's just like
that one messed me up like for a minute, man.
All of them messed me up. What do you mean?
I mean, I didn't know about all of those rappers.
Yeah, I'm like, again?
I just mean like I watched the video on YouTube and it was a bunch of rappers from across the country and I had never heard of them, but the ones that the one with the little brother at the Roscoe's, I mean, it was close to me because I've been to that Roscoe's.
Yes, as have I. That's why I was like, yo, what? I mean, I know we get,
And they tried to blame the little sister because she took a picture.
Oh, I know. Like, really?
Terrible.
Yeah. You reaching, you just, and sometimes in the moment you want to blame something or someone, but it's like, no, just blame the dude that shot him. That's enough. Like, why you gotta try to make it for what reason? What reason would she have? Her life was so much better with him than without him. She just recently was on the net talking about how, like, financially, she misses him, but she really misses his. You know what I mean?
Understandable. They have a child.
Right.
So one of the podcasters
falls on her.
One of the podcasters said that she should sue the record label. They got insurance for him. They got insurance money on him.
Mm-hmm.
Red.
But if they weren't married, then it's entitled to that. If his name is on the child's birth certificate, though, then she can try to get it, for the child.
Dang.
Right. But they try to put it in trust to where it's not available for the child until they turn 18 or something.
That'd be good.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be good, but it's also kind of a thing that they use, so that they don't have to pay out right away. And then you got to make sure that child lives to see 18 and don't do stuff like his dad. You know what I mean?
Damn, you broke that all the way down.
Right. They're not stupid. They don't put that in trust till the child is an adult and of age.
Oh, you're gone for real, Hillary?
They can catch the playback later, right?
Of course. I appreciate Hillary. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what's been popping. And it's been like a soap opera for me, I guess. That's terrible, isn't it?
I mean, that's what a lot of stuff ends up being, entertainment for other people.
It was
worse,
It's like radio soap opera for me. Although it's real life.
Right. That's the thing. It's not made up.
Yeah.
If it was made up, I think I'd feel better about it. Oh, you're muted.
I'm hungry. I'm asking my son to
Oh.
You get a piece of your steak?
You have some of your steak. I packed it up.
I just want a piece.
Oh my God. Yeah. Take the fork and leave the fork and the knife. I made some mac and cheese and some squash and broccoli and carrots and T-bone. Sorry for you vegetarians out there. And I was rushing because, again, I worked today. And then at the last minute, I had to go pick my daughter up near the Strip, which is not super close to here. So anyway, I was just tired, child. But I had my second win because I was so excited about doing this tonight. And I ain't finished my dinner. That's why I was getting to. So initially, these were supposed to be mukbangs, but my artist would be too shy to eat, except for Micah 9. Micah 9 ate, he grubbed in front of me.
Wow.
And who's Cobra 2, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, I usually be eating through these. For hours, and I ain't eating nothing.
Yeah, I'm starting to get hungry too now that
you got nothing to eat, girl.
Yeah.
It's something to eat. My son's warming my plate.
No, yeah, I'm one of those. I'm too shy to be on the internet.
Are you boom?
It's not the eating, it's eating while talking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like how I was raised. I was raised to chew with my mouth closed and
You're
don't
awesome.
mouth full of food, and you know. So yeah, I end up being torn because I'm like, oh, should I eat or should I talk? Should I talk or
Sorry.
so it messes me up.
Give me
So
my word. But
I
son,
I feel like I could do one more poem
thank you.
and then we can just kind of wrap it up and then I can go and
Rub.
yeah, absolutely. Cause
And
yeah.
okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Miss Gil Scott-Heron
Yes.
performs her poem, which what is called.
Yes, my final piece for the evening, my pen. And it tends to be like my closing crowd pleaser. So
Okay, what is it called again?
my pen.
My. Okay, here we go.
My,
Thank you, friend. Come on in. My pen.
yes, ma'am.
Don't forget to go to her Instagram or Facebook and Facebook. All right,
Yeah.
support the sister.
So if you like what you've heard or seen, yes, come follow me. My channel is Gil Scott-Heron here on, or well, not here. We're on StreamYard and all these other platforms. On Instagram, it is GIALOGIK. On Facebook, it is simply my name, Gil Scott-Heron. On YouTube, it is simply my name, Gil Scott-Heron. See how easy I make it for y'all? No, I'm just playing. But yeah, this is my pen. Hope you enjoy it. My pen got swag. My pen be feisty. My pen is both sweet and spicy. My pen be Kuji Chagalia. My pen be self-determined in its own destiny in different languages like Swahili. My pen got Nia, Kumba, and Imani. Purpose, creativity, and faith. My pen be Black History Month every single day. My pen only writes in black ink. My pen helps me to increase, release, and unleash my black girl magic. I make jaws drop without surgical enhancement. So when the mic drop show, it ain't no accident. My pen is beyond blacknificent. My pen is blacktastic. Because my pen is part Dr. King and part Black Panther. My pen be like hashtag Wakanda forever. My pen be pipping and ripping blank pages with its talons like it's T'Challa. My pen spits on the alt-right and decolonizes. Sometimes my pen be sci-fi fly. Its superpowers reminding those who still not woke that the revolution will not be televised. My pen creates like it's made of vibranium, makes my lyrics Teflon tough like titanium, makes my words radioactive like uranium. One day my pen and I will be filling up stadiums. Because my pen makes me feel blessed to be an artist. My pen be the hardest. Because my pen is part Dr. King and part Gil Scott-Heron. My pen be dancing like it's Janet Jackson and ghostwriting for Cardi B. My pen be like, how you doing? Like it's Wendy. Shout out to Wendy Williams. And don't worry about my pen. It's what I do with it that matters. My pen has a tattooed tear for every glass ceiling that it has shattered. Yeah, my pen is about that life. Don't get it twisted. My pen is a gangster activist and advocate. My pen is ruthless but never reckless. My pen is a bad mother. Shut your mouth. My pen is country, ghetto, and unapologetically educated. My pen has always been woke and is determined to stay elevated. My pen be like an HBIC with an AA, BA, MBA, and PhD and STFU from an HBCU, sucker. And it minored in giving out L's. But my pen is too blessed to be bitter or petty. My pen is too busy manifesting its destiny. My pen be my alter ego. My pen be a griot. My pen is my shiro. My pen is my platform, and I stand on it proudly and pay homage to the pioneering ancestors who came before we, the ones who had to use the Chitlin circuit, the ones who had to use the back doors when playing at white venues. Yeah, my pen remembers that too. Those are my pen's people. My pen got love for those who recognize that we are all equal. Sometimes my pen thinks that it's at Def Jam, y'all. It'd be like, Thank you for listening. God bless you and good night.
I love it.
Peace.
So dope.
From way, way long ago.
Dope. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Call you offline
Yeah.
at some point and have some dinner out there when I come out there.
Yeah, yes, we gotta go out, chop it up.
I need to go to I need to go visit all the homies at the poetry venues. That's what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
I'd like to see everybody.
Like it's changed, but it's like a lot of what we loved about it from long ago is still there. You know, there's still that little bit of nostalgia.
I went to Lorenzo's. Shout out Lorenzo.
Yeah, shout out to Swam, spoken word, art and music.
They're in Inglewood.
They moved.
What? Where are they now?
They're the last few times they've been right over near Overhill.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And like a really nice venue over there.
Okay. Very cool. I'll reach out to the brother. Have him come here. That'd be nice. Well, anyways, audience, this is Gil Scott-Heron.
Thank you for having me.
When I edit this again at some point, I'm gonna put some applause right there. Anyways, all right. Thank you, honey.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your poetry.
Yes.
And your family.
Yeah.
Grandmother, 100-year-old, your mama, your dad, the legacies, you and your art, your sincere emotions and feelings. Very cool.
Thank you. Thank you, sis. I appreciate it. It was on your platform with you and just chopping it up like we do, you know. It was fun. Had a good time.
I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, y'all. Reach out because she's going to have that event February 9th. Okay.
Yeah, please come through. We'd appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Let's do this.
Bye. Peace.
Peace.
I'm eating. I'm still on here. So look, next week, I'm very excited about the artist I'll be speaking with, but I'm going to keep that a secret till I make the flyer. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for staying and keeping in tune and all that good stuff. Spread the word about TOMEICKO Show. You know, we did talk about some current event a little bit, but I really love the fact that we are not diving into these YouTube gossip streets. I like that we're working on the arts and things like that. So support your homegirl. Okay, much love and respect. Bippity boppity, 99 cents, $1. Donate $1 to a sister. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep the cause alive. Thank you. I really appreciate all of you that are watching and listening. And I hope you have a good night. All right. Peace.